Hey folks, that's not the slide I want. Unit 3, Activity 2 is all about fabrics in the environment. This is a much shorter video because there was so much content in Activity 1 in regards to types of fibers and how fibers eventually turn into fabric. So what we're learning about today is renewable materials and different Canadian companies and what they're doing with environmentally friendly fashion. So moving forward, there are tons and tons of materials that can produce garments. And these aren't necessarily traditional, like cotton. These are new things that we're seeing more and more. Bananas can be used, or the stalk of a banana tree. Trees and using wood pulp and hemp are also viable options for making clothes. So when we talk about renewable resources are not just biodegradable. They're easily grown. They cause less stress on the planet. They biodegrade. There's a whole lot of factors that go into making something considered a renewable textile. And as the environment becomes more and more of a priority, it's only makes sense that renewable textiles is going to be an industry that's just going to grow and grow. So if that's something you're interested in, now is a good time to get in on that because it's only going to go up from here. And really, as a country, we need more options. And as a world, for that matter, we need more options that put less strain on our supply of fossil fuels. And a lot of manufactured fibers, like we learned about in the last activity, use natural gas or oil as part of the production. So part of renewable materials is finding polymers that can be created without the use of these fossil fuels. Cotton is super popular. You probably have a ton of things in your closet that are made with cotton, and cotton is a natural fiber. So you think, okay, it's good. But even some natural fibers are environmentally challenging. So, for example, in the U.S., there's 13 million acres of land that are used that's used for cotton. So that's 13 million acres of land that doesn't have trees or shrubs or other oxygen-producing plants on there, and cotton takes up a lot of space for the tiny little bits that you get from it. Another problem with cotton is it uses heavy pesticides, and these are super dangerous to the environment, especially when they leach into fresh water. This is really a problem in India. If you ever watched any fashion documentaries, they normally showcase India as a place where they're having massive pesticide problems and human health problems in relation to the pesticides used on cotton. The other problem with cotton is that it's a super thirsty crop. You have to water it a lot. Like, rain is not going to do it, especially in the south where it's hot and that's where cotton's grown. So cotton uses way more water than any other crop out there for garments. So you think cotton is good, but really when we look at it, there are other more viable options out there. So leading into those, some of them on this list you've probably heard of, such as cashmere, bamboo, silk, hemp. These are more established eco-fabrics that have been around forever, but really since the 90s, that's when we started considering the environment when we were making clothes. But some eco-fabrics that you might not have heard of are lyocell. Lyocell and tencel, you can see the cell at the end of it to show you that they're kind of like cousins. They're both biodegradable and they're made from wood pulp. So that's basically like mashing up wood into paste. And the way that this is done is way more environmentally friendly than cotton. They don't use chemicals. All the byproducts from making tencel can be recycled. There's virtually no waste. So those are great options. You heard me mention banana before. Abaca is an eco-fabric that's made from the stalk of a type of banana plant. And again, super resistant to bacteria, sustainable, renewable, doesn't take up as much space as something like cotton. And then Ingeo is a fabric similar to Abaca, which is made from corn. And the cool thing about Ingeo is that it has like a very silky luster to it. It's very soft. So it's like silk, but not. Silk is great. It is an eco fabric. It's renewable, it's biodegradable, it supports a lot of Asian countries and South Asian countries. So it's on this list. Also, cashmere, which is expensive but sustainable. Bamboo, which is entirely resistant to bacteria, so you don't need to use pesticides on it, and hemp. Hemp is really cool because it's super strong and durable like cotton. It grows really quickly, and you don't need a lot of land to get a lot of hemp. Also, pesticides and chemicals aren't needed to help it grow, so it can be virtually organic all the time. So, if you are considering buying something that's environmentally friendly, it's getting easier and easier to purchase clothing that is environmentally friendlier. But the problem is, it's up to you to do your research. You need to research either good fabrics. So, when you're going to a normal store, like let's say the Bay, you're looking specifically for certain fabrics and you're looking to avoid certain fabrics. You could also look for brands that claim to be environmentally friendly, but you still have to do the due diligence. Just saying it on the internet doesn't mean that they actually are. So, looking at their practices a little bit more to determine whether or not they are doing what they say they're doing. If you're interested in making your own clothes, you can get environmentally friendly fabric at the normal stores. Like Fabricland does carry some, but you've got a wider selection if you order online. Like Etsy has a ton, and there's a site that's specifically naturally based, which is called Pick Natural, and those offer eco fabrics. So to leave you off with a Canadian connection, Matt and Nat is a company that was founded in beautiful Montreal in the late 90s, and it is handbags. And their motto is live beautifully. And we talked about mottos in Unit 2, and beautiful is kind of in the eye of the beholder because they say that it's appreciating humanity, creativity, positivity, embracing social responsibility values, inclusiveness, love, authenticity. So they've got kind of a meaty motto. But what you need to know about them is that they are virtually vegan. There's no animal-based or leather materials in any of their bags, even though it looks like it. All of the bags are made with things like recycled nylons, cardboard, rubber cork, and the linings, which are look fabric, are similar to like those reusable bags that you see. They're made of recycled bottles or recycled bike tires, objects that were previously discarded, repurposed into something beautiful, but kind of expensive. So Matt and Nat, short for material and nature, and how those two things work together, are a brand that you can find here in Canada. So that's it for today, and we'll talk later.